Hi, I'm Jade. I am making this for those mums who missed out on the regulation circles. I've been running them for free over the whole month of Feb. I ran 31 free sessions and it was amazing connecting with women all over the world. So I'm going to catch you up just on the foundational stuff that you've missed, and then I'll explain how you can get regular weekly support from me with heaps of other mums who understand what our life is like. I want to say this really clearly before we start, okay? If you are feeling overwhelmed, exhausted, you're snapping at people, numb, anxious, wired, whatever you're feeling, I want you to know that you are not failing as a mum, okay? Your nervous system is carrying too much. I'm Jade, and what I do here is somatic work. So I'm a somatic practitioner. Somatic just means body. We work with the body. And for those of you that may have been to counselling or seen a psychologist before and wondering why you still feel this way and why you still are getting burnt out, it's because our nervous system does not respond to being told to calm down. It needs to be shown evidence. So I'm going to run you through a few things that we went through in the regulation circle. I'll try not to get too far off track. I could talk about this stuff all day. It has completely changed my life and the lives of so many mums that I've worked with. So the first thing we always start with is me telling you that your body is in charge here. You are in charge here. Do not push through. If something feels uncomfortable, don't push through. That's not how we rechange. That's not how we retrain or rewire our nervous system, okay? It's all about safety. Most of us, we're living in fight or flight and we're go, just push through, get everything done until we run out of fuel. Then we just end up in complete shutdown mode, right? We're so exhausted and burnt out. So those two states become our body's new baseline. That's where it knows we live. Right? What it's doing is protecting us. So when we're doing something like this, especially if it's new to you and we're trying to shift it out of those states, it gets scared. It's like, what are you doing? This isn't my normal state. I'm trying to protect you. I'm keeping you alive by keeping you in fight or flight so you can keep pushing through. So if you don't want to try anything that I'm guiding you through, or you want to keep your eyes closed when I guide to keep them open, that's totally fine. We can only retrain our nervous system through choice, safety, and repetition. Okay, so we're going to start. Now, I want you just to keep an open mind, okay? Most of these things actually are super simple. You've probably done them with your kids or someone's done them with you. But what I'm going to do is explain why we do them and what it does to our body, okay? So we're going to start by, I want you to look away from the camera, soften your gaze, okay? Look around the room. I want you in your head just to say some different colors that you can see. So I can see pink, blue, yellow. That's it. Okay. Now, look around the room again and I want you to name 5 things. So 5 objects that you can see. Name them in your mind. I'm going to do it with you. The door, laptop, plant, crystals, Buddha. Cool? I'll explain why we do this. So this is called orienting, okay? And as special needs mums, our brain is always living in the future when we're in fight or flight, that is. Okay, it's always scanning for danger subconsciously. And why is it doing that? Because it's trying to prevent the next thing that's going to happen. Our lives are so unpredictable. It's trying to prevent like the next meltdown, the next time your child runs off on you. For me, my body didn't actually know when my daughter wasn't even at home. Say she was at school or she was at her dad's and she was safe. My body didn't know that. And it was constantly braced, like tight, and scanning subconsciously. I didn't even notice that's what my body was doing. And the reason why it does that is because things like experiences, emotions, trauma, that is all stored in our body. Then our nervous system uses that information to keep us safe. So my nervous system was thinking, I need to keep her in fight or flight at all times to keep her and her kids safe, okay? So I need to constantly be scanning. I can't relax, even when I'm in bed. So what orienting does is it tells us that we're right here in this moment. We don't need to be living a few minutes ahead in our brain. And it starts updating the message from danger, we need to be on high alert, to, oh, we're safe. in this room, in this moment, I am safe. And that really matters because we can't tell our nervous system that. It needs to be shown. Some other ways you can do that is 3 things that you can feel. So I can feel my shirt, my hair, the chair underneath me. It could also use things that you can hear. So if you try now, see if you can hear something that isn't my voice, okay? Now on that, when your mind wanders off during this quick session, just use my voice to come back. So every time we do this, every time we show our nervous system and our body this evidence, we're teaching it a new pattern. And if you practice this consistently with all of this work that I'm going to show you, your body just starts doing this automatically. You don't have to think about it. So I run a 6-week program called the Anchored Mum Program, right? Now, by week 2 or 3, the mums are contacting me and they're saying, oh, Jade, I felt a little bit overwhelmed and all of a sudden I didn't even notice, but my hand was on my heart and I did a long exhale. So what happens is, number 1, we're building connection with our body, that embodied awareness, okay? And when we do that, our body can tell a lot easier and a lot quicker when we're starting to feel dysregulated. And then what it does, automatically, without us having to think about it, is it grabs one of the tools that I'm showing you, okay? And it'll just implement it. So I was at Woolies the other day, the supermarket, right? This is a good example. And I was getting some meat from the deli and I was in a rush, and the worker, instead of just grabbing the meat from the deli and, weighing it up or whatever, she went and walked off to the fridge to grab some meat so she could slice it fresh. Instead of me thinking, oh, how lovely, this is fresh, I could feel my body, like my body temperature rose, my heart started going a bit faster, and my brain, I was just thinking, oh my God, I'm going to be late. I can't believe this. Why can't you just blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so that happened only for a couple of seconds. Then I noticed my body just started swaying. Yeah. And I took a longer breath out. Because my body knows it's got so many tools that I've taught it to use when I get into those situations, right? And it didn't ruin the next 10 minutes while I was there. I was rushing through. I was okay. I could stand there and wait patiently. This is the magic in it. It all becomes automatic. So just to quickly recap on orienting, we use it just to give our brain and our body a new message, because it's always scanning, it's always on high alert. So we're just telling it right now, in this present moment, we are safe. And that helps our nervous system get unstuck from that fight or flight mode, which most of us live in. Now we're going to do some grounding. Now, a lot of people think grounding is, oh, we've got to take our shoes off and walk in nature. It's going to be beautiful. No. Okay, we can do grounding while we're doing the dishes. So let me just quickly walk you through this. So if you're sitting, I want you just to, with your feet, just push them into the floor. Just put some pressure into your feet, push them into the floor, and notice the surface underneath you. Right, now if you're sitting in a chair, I want you to just also notice the surface, what's holding you up. So notice the chair underneath you, behind you. That's it. Just 10 seconds is all we need to do. So you can do this while you're doing other things, like doing the dishes. So you would just be doing the dishes, and if you feel like you're starting to get overwhelmed, or you want to practice this stuff because it does take repetition and proof, evidence, okay? You would just take a second. You can keep washing the dishes while you're doing it and just push your feet into the ground. You can be wearing your socks and your shoes while you're doing it. It's fine. It still works. Okay. Now, grounding is really important because when we're grounding, our body feels supported and it's able to stop bracing as much. Now, when I say bracing, I'm talking about if you focus on your shoulders right now, okay? So focus on your shoulders. I want you just to drop them. Could you drop them? I'm pretty sure you could. Even your jaw, like if people get sore jaws, or it's from clenching, okay, you might also get headaches and migraines, right? So if you just relax your jaw. When we're living in fight or flight, our body is internally constantly bracing all the time, okay? It's ready to go. As I said, we were not meant to live in fight or flight mode. We were meant to, say we're in the wild, we were meant to, something chases us and then we're in fight or flight, the adrenaline goes, the cortisol, and then we get free, we're safe. We're supposed to actually shake it off. That's what animals do so they don't get PTSD. I did a whole session on that, right? We don't do that. We just live in there. Whereas animals, they go through this cycle and they come out of it. We're living in this constant state of fight or flight till we run out of fuel, then we're into complete exhaustion, burnout. Okay, and we just have this continuous cycle. Some of you tell me that this cycle is on a, once a monthly basis. Sometimes you can go 6 months of being just, go, pushing through and then crash. Now, this is really important because I get so many mums messaging me and telling me about their physical health issues. Because we were never meant to live in that state, our body can't actually handle it. So then we get things like chronic fatigue, chronic pain, autoimmune diseases, fibromyalgia is a really common one, insomnia. We get so many physical health issues as a result of living in fight or flight. I actually have a whole YouTube video which is just on that. I'll put a link in the email. Now I'm going to do just a really quick breathing exercise with you, okay? What we're going to do is we're going to breathe in through our nose for a count of 4 and breathe out for a count of 6. That is it. You don't have to remember the numbers, okay? All you need to remember is the exhale needs to be longer than the inhale because that tells our nervous system that we can calm down. It helps us to regulate when that exhale is longer. So I'll show you, and if you want, you can then pause this video and give it a go. Do 3 to 5 rounds. So I'm going to breathe in. That's it. Pause the video if you want to try it. I'm quickly going to just touch on sound because this is something that we'll use in lots of different ways in the sessions coming up in the membership. Okay, so we're just going to, instead of just exhaling out, we're going to hum. I'll show you. So I'm going to breathe in, hum. Oh, I just want to keep doing that. It feels really good. Okay, so you don't have to do 6 if it feels good, just keep doing it. I'll explain why we do that. Humming and sighing, singing, those sorts of things, they give us vibration, okay? Now we have a vagus nerve which lives around our throat area. The vagus nerve, think of it as like a super quick highway to our nervous system and our brain, and it tells us really quickly to calm down. So when we simply just add some vibration, it's a super quick way to regulate our nervous system. So if you'd like, pause this now and just try 3 to 5 rounds again. So breathe in through the nose for 4 and hum for as long as it feels good. Beautiful. Now the next thing I'm going to show you is a butterfly hug tap. All right, so we cross our arms over our chest and put our hands on our upper arms and we just start alternating our tapping. Left, right, left, right, left, right. Okay. What this is doing is it's giving us predictable input, right? This helps our nervous system settle really quickly. Our nervous system loves predictability. It knows I'm going left, right. It knows what's coming. It knows what's next. Unlike when we're in fight or flight, it's just trying to predict what's coming, what's going to happen next, okay? So this is really calming for our nervous system. I actually like rocking when I do this. You might have a child or you might do this yourself, rocking, yeah? So that rocking is just giving us that rhythm and that predictability. Our nervous system craves predictability because it's safe. It makes us feel really safe. Beautiful. And the last thing I'm going to show you quickly is called a tense and release. So what we do is we tense a certain body part for 20 to 30% for about 3 seconds and then we release. I'll walk you through it first and then I'm going to explain why we do this. Okay. So we can start with our fists. So we're only tensing not super tight, only about 20 to 30% for 3 seconds. So tense, 1, 2, 3, release. Beautiful. Now I want you to activate the muscles in your thighs. So just squeeze the muscles in your thighs for 1, 2, 3, release. Beautiful. Now shoulders up, 1, 2, 3, release. Beautiful. Now this one's going to look really weird when I do it, but that's okay. We're going to scrunch our face for 3 seconds. Then I want you to listen to me after I've said release. We're just going to soften our face and our jaw, okay? So we're going to scrunch our face. 1, 2, 3, release. Okay. Now I want you to just soften your face. Let your jaw hang. Let your tongue sit on the bottom of your mouth. Just let it relax. We spend so much time clenching our jaw. We hold so much stress there. So if you're someone who gets a lot of headaches, migraines, sore jaw here, neck issues, okay, let it hang. Just give it a minute. You'll notice that throughout the day, our tongue is usually touching the roof of our mouth. Like even our tongue is bracing. Okay, so we just like to give it a second to relax. So what we're doing here is we're actually reminding our body and we're showing it what the difference between that braced and release is by showing it the contrast. Because it thinks we actually live in braced. It thinks that is our normal. So we're like, hey, that is not how we're supposed to be. Do you remember that we can be relaxed? Yeah, that's what we're doing by showing it that. So the more that we practice that, the faster our body learns and starts to remember, oh, I can be in fight or flight, but I can actually unbrace my body. Yeah, I can calm down. So I'll just share this with you as well. I find this so fascinating. So my daughter is 13 years old. She's in nappies. She's nonverbal. She would never be able to follow my instructions, or I'm not sure if she would understand, but she wouldn't be able to follow my instructions if I was to say, okay, just take a breath in and longer breath out, or, you know, name in your head a few things you could see. She would never be able to do any of these things, but her body knows exactly how to regulate. So she does that through vocal stimming. So it's like this, but it's really like a lot louder. It's like, ah, but times the volume by a million. She's doing what we were doing with the humming, the vibration. She's actually also been, if anyone knows what EFT is, tapping. So she actually taps different points in her body and in her head, right? Signaling to her nervous system to calm down. She's actually been doing that for about 10 years. I only realized like 5 years ago what she was actually doing. It's amazing. So our kids, most of our kids are still really good at regulating their bodies. But when we look at us, we are not. We were getting told when we were growing up, like, sit still, stop fidgeting, stop rocking on your chair in the classroom. That was me getting in trouble at school, right? We get told not to release trauma, which is what they do when they're stomping and they're shouting and they're crying. We hold it in and then we're storing it and we're accumulating it. Yeah, all of last week's sessions were all on that stored trauma and the impact that it has on our body. This is the stuff we're working with. And when we're doing this on a consistent, regular basis, that's how we change our baseline. The number one thing it gives us is capacity. Okay, capacity to have some patience, capacity to get through the day. It improves our quality of sleep. I'll add in the email all the benefits it's got because there's just so many. The thing with this is it does take consistency and repetition. We can't just sort of do one class and then we're good to go, right? I do have a lot of women that do one-on-one sessions with me, but that's more about creating a personalized plan for them to stick to. Okay, so it's not that they get to come to, you know, one session for 60 or 90 minutes and it's relaxing and beautiful and then they're all fixed. However, right, the plans that I give them will only have things that they do. Same with the Young Kid Mum Project, the 6-week program I mentioned. Same with that. It's literally just doing things 30 seconds here. The amount of stuff that I've taught my body while sitting on the toilet, seriously, or while doing the dishes, 10 seconds here, a minute there, 2 minutes there, done for the day. The main issue is remembering to do it. So that's one of the reasons why I'm running these regular circles. Okay, I don't know if you're like me, but when I start trying to learn something new, I am pretty good for a couple of days or a week maybe, and then I completely forget, right? Or I've put sticky notes in places and then I get used to them being there and I don't even recognize that they're there. So when we have an appointment booked in, we go, we do our thing and it's done. So at a bare minimum, right, you are doing this work at a bare minimum once a week. Now with the membership, I'll explain this in the email a bit further, but there's going to be at least 8 sessions per week that you can jump on live, right? So You can come to an express session, which is 30 minutes, and that's why I'm teaching you some of the foundations here in this video. So I don't have to go through, this is why we do this, blah, blah, blah. You just rock up. I'm going to guide you through some somatic healing practices in that 30 minutes. You're going to feel really relaxed, but you're also going to learn some tools. Now, not every tool I teach you is going to be great for you. Some of them you're just going to go like, no, it doesn't feel good. Everybody's body is different. So that's why I'll be teaching lots of different new tools, okay? In the Anchored Mum Project, most of the mums love the humming more than anything else. They love the trauma release, the shaking, which is so impactful. They love that more than the other things, okay? But some of them love breathing more. So I'd send them extra breathing exercises that they can do. We're all different. So 30-minute express session, we just literally rock up. You're guided. You don't have to think about it. Listen to me. We're done. Or we have our longer sessions, which is our circles. Okay, so they will go for about 45 minutes. They always include a beautiful guided meditation. Now, you don't have to be like, sitting there quietly. Okay, your mind will wander. It's fine. They run for about 5 minutes, and it is time for your nervous system just to relax completely. Not thinking about a new tool that I'm showing you or practicing a new tool, just 5 minutes. Your nervous system needs practice in being rested, in learning how to rest. It doesn't know how, so we're giving it that space. The beauty of the circles is also then after the 45 minutes or so, we have 15 minutes where we can talk as a community. You can ask me questions. You've got access to me to ask me anything, whether it's related to somatic healing, any physical health problems that you're having. I can give you some tips on how this stuff can help you. Might be something to do with funding, NDIS or respite, whatever. Or it could just be having a place to be where you belong, where people understand what you're going through, where you don't even have to talk. You can just be. You don't even have to have your camera on for any of the sessions. You don't have to chat or interact for any of the sessions, but if you want to, that space is there. We had a mum turn up to a session last week and she was really emotional. She's so burnt out and exhausted. And she got to vent a little bit with women who understand, and that meant the world to her. Not many people understand what it's like to live this life, okay? So you are getting a whole village. You know when they talk about, everyone needs a village. Most of us don't have a village. I'm giving you a village with somatic healing. The email should answer a lot of other questions that you have, but really this is just about giving you the basics and the reasons why somatic healing is so powerful. There's YouTube videos, as I said, so I'll put the link to those if you've curious to learn more about this. I highly recommend as well, if you have a child who has meltdowns, and if you sort of get to the point where you're like, I don't even know what to do now, like through this meltdown, you need to watch this video on co-regulation, okay? It'll talk you step by step through what you do with your body when you're at the point where there's nothing else that you can do for your child. This is what I use for my daughter, and it has changed everything for us. Co-regulation is how I got into this, yeah? So those who haven't been to a session, what I talk about is that my daughter used to get into the car after school and I'd be activated, I'd be fight or flight, worried, because I wouldn't know, my body didn't know whether that car ride was going to be a 5-minute trip home with her loudly, vocally stimming, and I'd just be really overstimulated, which is fine. Or it could be an hour trip home, there could be an ambulance called, there could be blood everywhere, which has happened. What I started doing is doing some breathing. I literally only took a minute to do breathing before she got in the car. She is a completely different child from when I started doing that. We never had a car trip that was as bad as it used to be before then. I was like, what is going on? How is this even possible? This must be a coincidence. So I tested it. I tested not doing it. I purposely, a few months in, I tested not doing it. And she did it wasn't as bad as like the previous, but she was a lot more activated. The car trip was about 20 minutes If you have any questions about any of this, please just reach out. That's what I'm here to help you. If you just take the tools and try them yourself, and that's fine. I'm glad I could share this with you. But if you join the membership, I would love to have you in my community. Take care, breathe, and I'll talk to you soon.